Oh, mate, I this, I made a mistake. I was making a tape. I don't know who knows on my one of my tapes outings. This GoPro on my head, right? You press the button and it turns it on. You press again, it turns it off. If you get confused, if you press it twice, instead of it being on, it's off. So anyway, and I made a mess today. So now I have to do it all again. So I'm doing it all again. But like, I'm not going through the whole. I wasted all my whole day and your whole day. I'm just gonna do bits and pieces. And the bit that I messed up, not double pressing, I will attach to the thing. First of all, I'm gonna start. Who likes to see a big golden smile? He has a big golden smile. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Also, not just that. Let's get in a good spirit. Yeah. Let's have a look at this. Here comes an. Gravity. Hello, smiley face. That's a smiley face. I did one more trick. Let's try it. Let's see if I can do one more. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, here we go. What that looks like. To me, no, I give up. To me, it's a banana and two mandarins. What else it's going to look like? So, how I called it tape comparing apples and oranges? What? Why? I don't have an apple. I don't have a orange. I only got banana and mandarin. But let's put this away. Ah, that's right. What? I only need one of each. How much does this weigh? Suppose you don't have a scale. How much this weighs? Or it could be any. I don't know. Unless you know about mandarins. If you don't know about mandarins, you got no idea. If you don't got a scale, okay. You don't got to say, here, have a banana. One-eyed banana. One-eyed smiley face. Blinking. Okay. You don't, here, have a banana. How much does the mandarin weigh? Who knows? How give me a banana helps? Doesn't help. That's stupid. Why? Apples and oranges. They're different. I can't do it. But that's not necessarily the case. Let's put this on. Oh, mate. Let's have, instead of a mandarin, let's have a piece of gold. Okay, how much does this piece of gold weigh? Can I put on the scale? Yeah, put on your scale. I put it on the scale, but it's too light. It doesn't register. So, okay. Have a piece of wire. Piece of copper wire. Now, how much does this piece of gold weigh? Oh, shit, mate. I don't know. This is how you do it. If you've got a scale, you can weigh the piece of copper and write it down. I happen to have weighed this piece of copper, and it weighs 1 gram. That's convenient, isn't it? But also there's another way. The people, they went to big kids school. They learn about stuff like this from their teacher, and there's a thing called density, and it's a ratio between the weight per unit volume with respect to water. Water has a density of 1. If this is too hard for you, you better turn off now, because I'm not even close. I'm getting scared myself. Density of 1. 1 cubic centimetre of water weighs 1 gram. 1 square centimetre of copper weighs 9 grams. 1 cubic centimetre of gold, 19 grams. So, if I had a piece of wire the same as this but made out of gold, because I weighed this, it was 1 gram. If it was made of gold, it would weigh 2 grams. Okay? So now, also, if you didn't have a scale, those people that went to big kids school, what else do they know? They know that if you know the volume, like from density, if you know the volume of copper that you have, you divide it by its density, and that will tell you how much it weighs. So if that, there's a formula for the volume of wire on a cylinder. This is a cylinder. Looks like a piece of wire. It is, but it's also a cylinder. Formula for the volume of a cylinder is the cross-sectional area multiplied by its length, but they need to be in centimetre units. But anyway, so it works out. Pi r squared is the cross-sectional area. You multiply it by, which I measured 13.5 centimetres. I'm not going to go through the formula. I did on the previous tape, and now I messed it up. But suffice to say, it calculated out as just under 1 gram, a 0.92 or 0.98, and it does weigh just about a gram. So so if that's going to be 1 gram, and if that piece of gold was this piece of wire, it would be 2 grams. So we can either increase that to be as big as this, or we can decrease this piece of wire to be as small as that. This is what I done. I got this piece of wire, 1 gram. If I get 1% of it, cut off 1% of it, which is 1.35 millimeters, then that, because it's 1%, it'll be 1% of the 1 gram. So it will weigh, that piece, 0.01 gram. Now, I done all this, like I said. Who wants to look at a banana here? Oh, I'm trying to make something interesting. Put here, smiley face. No, yeah, smiley face for the people. Okay. 0.01 grams is. I went out there. I couldn't cut it that small. It was too small. So I said, I'll double that. One from that 1.35. I make it 2.7. So that means I'm cutting off 2% of this. So now that means it will weigh, that piece that I'm cutting off, it will weigh 0.02 of a gram. So that I come back. So now I've got what I had. I flattened it. I said I'll flatten it. I'll flatten it. Smack it with a hammer a lot of times and squash it until it's as skinny as that piece there. And I got me jeweler's loop out, and after I'd flattened, as I flattened that piece until it was roughly about as skinny as that. I had trouble flattening it. I couldn't get it as skinny as aluminium foil, but I got it pretty close. And then I measured it was like 0.15 millimeter. But as I flattened it, of course, it grew in diameter. It came huge. So it was like heaps bigger than that. Like, it came huge. So I said, all right, well, I need to now cut this into an amount of times to make it the same size as that, because I want to end up with a piece of copper the same volume as that. Why? Because if I know how much that piece of copper weighs, I can times it by 2, and that will be how much that piece of gold weighs. So I got that piece of copper. I belted it. I threw it away now. It's gone. I messed it up in the previous tape, like I said. I didn't press the button. I hope I pressed the button this time. Let me check. Yep, it's working. So anyway, I got that piece of... I squished it so it was the same... same size as that. And then I cut it. I cut it in half. So that piece... If I cut it in half, now it's half whatever it weighs. It did weigh, I just worked it out, 0.02. Yeah, so I cut it in half. It was still too big. I cut it in half again. I cut it an amount of times in half. Turned out I had to cut it into 12 pieces. When I cut it into 12 pieces, they were all the same as that. So that means that piece is the same as my bit of copper, but I've got to divide the copper by 12. So a piece of copper that size will weigh 0.02 divided by 12. I don't know what that is. It's a number, right? And then I don't know. I could work it out. I forgot. But that number, you got to double that. And just from my memory, I think it was. Why do I got to double it? Oh yeah, because it's gold is double the weight of copper. So the answer came 0.0035. So that means this bloke here, from this calculations, smiley face, there we go, 0.0035. So if I had 10 of them, that would then, 10 times that number I just said. So it'll be 0.035. That's 10. If I times that, if I made it, say, 20 of them, that would then be 0.07. Now look at this. Bye-bye, happy face. This is my last week's sample. Altogether was like 0.057 or something, which is pretty close to what I just worked out 20 of these is. So that means I should have about 20, if all these calculations and that means, I think I've already done this part on my tape, on the next tape. I think I am up to here. I'm going to stop talking and then I'm going to slap on the next tape. Otherwise I'm doing the same thing twice. if I haven't done this, then I messed up. Over. On the previous tape, not tape, but clip, I forgot to press the button to turn it off. I need to learn how to split. I don't want to put like half an hour of nothing. I will work something out. Anyway, I'm back now. What I've done, hey people, I went out to cut 1% of that wire, which was 1.354 millimeters. I couldn't, it was too small. I said, shit, I can't cut that. So I doubled it. I said, I know, let's go 2%. 2% will be like double, 2.7. So I cut a length of 2.7 from that piece of copper wire, and it should come out to weighing by that. If it was 1 gram of wire, I must have if I've got 2%, that's 0.0. It's 0.02, and this is what it actually weighs. It's pointing a bunch more, 10% out. It's windy today, and I'm breathing. Now it's going up and up. Anyway, it's I don't know why it's jammed on that. That's stupid. Get out. Today's a bad day for measuring stuff. But it's actually, it's not that heavy. Get off there. See, that's why such tiny stuff. See, it's, I didn't tear it. Now it's tear. Go again. Just over 0.02. That's what it is, 0.022. So that's tolerance. Maybe I cut it slightly longer, hey, which I think I did. So I'm going to have errors. But anyway, I had a lot of trouble flattening it. It doesn't want to flatten. Bang, smack, smack, smack. Anyway, I got it down to about 0.15 millimeter thickness. And I put this beside the piece that I'm interested in, and I got my jeweler's loop out, and here, jeweler's loop, looking sideways, pretty much close. Also, jeweler's loop, I got me 1 mm diameter wire and placed it next to this piece of gold, and it's slightly smaller than 0.1, so it's about we could even about 0.9 of a millimeter wide, and it's close to being a circle, right? See, I'm going through all this nonsense, and there's another way you can work this out too. If you knew, instead of getting the volume of the copper and this and that, all that, I'm still going because of that, I could have just measured the diameter of this round piece of round flat piece of gold, and then multiply it, do the pi r squared big kid thing that they learnt in big kids school. Get that pi r squared and multiply it by the length, which in this case it's you actually call it thickness, eh? So it'll be thickness. So it'll be the area, looking at it that way, cross-sectional area, or just area, I don't know. Anyway, and then multiply it by the thickness, and this and that, and then you multiply that by 19 or something like that. The big kids school people have a formula for that. I'm going to do that later, but now that I've gone through all this trouble with the copper, I'm going to say, okay, so now I need to be able to cut this an amount of times until that one of those pieces is going to be the same size as the piece of gold. So where am I pointing? Yeah. So I'm going to go. I don't have to cut it into 100 pieces, but I need to divide it multiple times. So I'm going to get a pair of scissors or a pocket knife or something, and I'm going to cut that, and I will calculate how many times I had to cut it, and then we'll divide that, this and that, and who knows what I'm saying knows what I'm saying. And if you do, put down in the comments what it is, because I don't know. But I'll be back. Over. Mate, I'm starting to drown in a sea of numbers and calculations and formulas. Mate, who's not old enough to go to big kids school? When you do, please go. Otherwise you end up like me. Hands up who wants to be like me. Don't be silly. Anyway, what's happened? Who can see? There's me two pieces anyway. A piece of gold and a piece of not gold, copper. I cut shit out. I can't see nothing. Even if I could see, you need to be more precise. But anyway, look, that large piece. This is all cut crooked. I looked through my jeweler's loop, and this whole tape's become loopy. But I looked through my jeweler's loopy and this and that, and it works out. I had to cut it, that original piece of copper, 12 times. So the original piece of copper was 0.02. I made it 0.021. If we divide that by 12, it becomes a certain number. 0.12 into 2. 10. If it was divided by 10, although it's 12, if you divide it by 10, it would be 0.002. Or less. So if you divide it by 12, it will be less. Anyway, a number came. So now, that's copper. This one's gold. The gold is double, so I need to double that number, whatever it was. And I know that number. It came out as 0.0035, and it's grams. Now, so that means each one of this piece of gold is that number that I just said. If I had 10 of them, I 10 times that number. So that 10 of them would weigh 0.0035, I think. Or, oh mate, 0.35. No, it would be 0.035, 10 of them. Or not. I'm scaring myself. I'm confusing myself. I'm depressed. I'm getting depressed. I'm turning this shit off soon. Yeah. Look, I'm going to come back with another number that I'm going to multiply this volume piece that I roughly guessed and go on the internet, this and that, whatever it is, and I'll come back with another number without the copper. Because at the moment, one of them is 0.0035. 10 of them is 0. I'll be back. I have a perfect number for you. Over. Okay. Just the number I come up with was 0.0035. 0.0035. It turned out wrong. I'll muck around. I got it wrong anyway. I'll come up. Using the formula on the internet, what the big kids school people put up there, if this, who can see this piece? I can't see it anyway. If, and I tried to measure it best I can, if that is 0, if that is under 1 millimeter across diameter, that round piece there, if it's 0.8 of a millimeter, which it is, and if it's thick 0.15 of a millimeter, which it, let's say it is, if it's that, then this weighs 0.0058. Almost, I was almost 50% out on my. But anyway, look, so it's just over. It's just under 0.00. It's exactly 0.0058. So if there was 10 of them, we moved the decimal point one place. 10 of these would be 0.058. Now, I pissed this copper off. That was a big job, man. The thing is, this is stupid. So if that was 0.058, I mean, if 100 of them will weigh 0.058, I know because I weighed all this. Everything in here is my last week's stuff. Oh, maybe it is true. I weighed all this and it was 0.055. So what that means, 100 of these is equal to all that, which it could be. Let me count them. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't think there. Yeah, it could be. So that means if you go out trying to catch gold and 10 of these got away down the toilet because whatever you can't pan or your sluice didn't capture them because you ran it incorrectly, you will lose 0.0 you will lose 0.0. I don't even know what the question was. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that's answered all your questions, and I'll be back another time with more comparing apples and oranges. Over.